What if I told you I was talking to someone, they had been working on the wrong project for months, and then they had the revelation, I'm glad that I did it. That's what we're going to talk today. We're going to talk about on the channel. Hey, welcome. My name is Kevin Gregg. I am a creative producer, director, writer. I have performed and presented for over 2.5 million people in my career. I help you get your creative work done. Welcome to the channel. That's what we're going to unpack today. Had a conversation that was rather eye-opening and something that looked like it could be absolute tragedy or a mistake for someone. It was like, no, this all worked out fine for her. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. I have a community which is over on the school platform. It is called Working Creatives. This is where I help people get their creative work done. If you have a creative project that's been sitting on the shelf for a long time and you've been trying to get it done, and you're on the path to being a creative professional who's bringing in income and revenue from your creative work, this is the place to be. Join us over in this community on the school platform. The link is in the description to this video below. You can join hundreds of other people who are on their path to getting their creative projects done, finding their audience, getting it to market, and start generating income and revenue for yourself creatively. So here's the thing. Having a conversation with a friend of mine. I'm not going to give you all the details on this because this is her story to tell. But I'll give you sort of the high level talk down on it. My friend, several months ago, she had been in a little bit of a creative slump. She's worked professionally doing a number of things, actually having some success with writing, which has been amazing, but was in a little bit of a valley trying to figure out what to do. She started working. She had an idea where she partnered up with someone else close to her, and they started working on a media project together. A lot of time invested in it with producing, getting the stuff together, recording, doing all of this stuff, getting the word out about the project, and had been working on it pretty consistently, and had sort of a revelation while she was working on the project. Hey, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? But was like fully in and committed, was like showing up, getting the stuff done, working with her partner to make sure that they were getting together and putting the stuff out. And, good, solid material that they were doing. But then a moment just came up recently where it was like, oh yeah, this isn't the thing I'm supposed to be focusing on. Actually, I really am supposed to be focusing on my writing and my output and the stuff that I'm doing, particularly with a new relationship that she has with her agent. And that's been sort of her, that's been her main source of creative revenue that's been coming in over the last several years, which is like that's one of them, and just kind of like going, wait a minute. She'd just been in a slump, but then while working on this project, she just realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong path here. What I really need to do is double down. Now, you would think that if something like that would happen, and this can happen with some creatives, you would think if something like that happened, that you would go, what did I do? I just wasted a whole bunch of time, energy, effort, money invested, the amount of planning, coordination that had to go on. What a waste of my time, my energy. That's not how she felt. As a matter of fact, she was like going, this is amazing, because the fact that she was showing up and doing that work and putting in that production time and creative time and all that stuff, and even doing the output, it started flexing a muscle inside of her that almost got her back on track. And because of that creative productivity that she was doing and that focus, it reinvigorated the writing and the writing projects that she needed to work on. So that when the time came and she realized, wait a minute, I'm doing the wrong thing. What am I doing? I had this revelation for myself um, when when I was first starting out my creative career. I had done children's theater work down in Orange County, down at South Coast Repertory. I was involved with some productions with them for a couple of years. And kind of like my first real paid professional job, right? Where you like do this stuff and you're out and you're performing for schools and you're getting paid. You know, at the time I would get paid to be an actor. Then there was another season where I was paid as like a stage manager running the thing. A lot of work and a lot of heavy lifting. And I remember during that time that those contracts would come to an end. You would have that contract for maybe 3, maybe 4 months, and you'd make a good amount of money, but then it would be finished. And I remember when Kate and I we had just been married and we had just relocated back to Southern California, haven't been in Northern California for a spell. And we came back and then we had both been hired to do another season of this stuff. And then at the end of it, it just went through a little bit of a dry season. And there was no immediate money that was coming in. And I sort of did a default where, got a little bit of, family pressure. Like you're married, you got, at the time we had a kid that was on the way, and I got this pressure to start doing an auto insurance job. So I went to an auto insurance job because I had a bachelor's degree, even though it was in theater, but I was working at this, you know, in this insurance industry, which was like, okay, I'm getting a regular paycheck. But I had this revelation while I was sitting down and learning and doing all the stuff and doing all the focus of like learning about claims and how to take intake stuff and all the amount of energy and focus and effort that was going on. And I had this wake up moment where I went, if I'd spent this amount of time, energy, and effort on my creative career, this could be a massive game changer, right? Well, I ended up eventually, I was only at that job for maybe 3 months after that. And then shortly after that, I ended up getting hired for Disney. And God bless Kate for like supporting me through all that. She's just been a huge blessing in my life, supporting me as I'm doing this. But I remember having that moment of like going, oh no, what I've done. But even when I was in that auto insurance job and seeing the type of focus, and you have to show up every day, and it's not about just lounging around and waiting for something to hit you or inspiration to hit you, but if you're doing the work, whatever that work is, you're starting to build in the skills and the habit for yourself to continue to show up. And I bring this back in correlation to what again happened with my friend. In a writer's slump, nothing really happening for her, and then saying, you know what, I'm actually going to go all in on this other media project. Let's start working on it. And then, having to show up, having to do the stuff. And what was happening, you start developing, and I may be speaking out of turn, but this is some of the stuff that I see from the outside. It's the showing up and recognizing, oh, okay, I'm flexing a muscle here. And then also having the big wake up thing where you go, oh, wait a minute, this thing that I'm putting all my time, my energy on, it's not, I'm glad that I'm using these skills and flexing these muscles while I'm doing this, but this energy shouldn't be going towards that. It actually needs to be going towards this now. And that's a big wake up moment, and, man, what a huge blessing, because this is the thing that I truly want to express to you guys. It's not wasted time. It's actually a building a habit and also having a revelation of what it is that you really want to be doing. And there's such a hidden blessing in that, right? Say it all the time. A lot of creative stuff that you're doing is, it's 49%. It's 49% creative, 51%. 49% creative, 51% business, right? You have to recognize that. If you can get into the idea of going, oh, that's right. It's not just about like, oh, I only feel good when I'm doing this stuff, but it's also about developing a habit, a skill, a set of regular productivity habits and showing up consistently to do it. Then you'll start getting clarity. because as you're putting in the work and the investment, yes, there's going to be parts where you just kind of go, oh, this doesn't feel good. But then you still start seeing the results of what's happening, going, you know what, I'm proud of that. And I feel like I'm on the right path. Or you start having a gnawing thing that goes, this isn't right. This isn't right. This isn't what I should be doing. I think that I should be doing something else. Then that's a good thing too. You know, what's the main thing that happens with all of this? You have to show up on a regular, consistent basis. This can't be something where you're kind of going in and then going out. I have had this happen personally for myself. I'm in a season with this too, with like musical instruments, right? I'm able to play piano and guitar and a little bit of violin. I'm able to do those things. But then I only come into them like sort of like a hobbyist or a tourist with it, where I come in, I kind of pick it up for a little bit and, oh, yeah, I know that stuff. That's great. You do it. And then I just kind of hang out at the level that I'm at. And then I split. I'm going to go do something, or I get distracted by something else. Right. And then when I come back, I'm not going to I never pick up the guitar at the same level I was when I was doing it regularly. You have to kind of relearn. That's what happens with your brain and your skill set. Even as I've been doing these live streams recently, these are a set of skills I had several years ago when I was doing another podcast with Paul Carganilla, Your Creative Journey. But, we got into the habit of like doing it and doing about 50 shows and just kind of like going, oh yeah, you get the skill. When I come back to this stuff, I'm kind of going, how does this work? What do I do? I have this with editing at times when I use Premiere Pro. Like I sit down, do editing, and then I step away from it, and then I have to come back and go, how does that work, right? Well, the thing is that when you're showing up consistently and doing this every single day, then you start these skills just start becoming second nature, right? They start becoming second nature. And the reason I encourage you to consistently show up and to do these skills regularly is because you need to be doing these skills so that you're showing up consistently enough and you're getting an idea of what it is that you're supposed to be doing and not doing at the same time, right? If you're not doing this, if you're not showing up, you're not going to have enough time to figure out, am I actually doing the right thing or not? You know? I've had this happen before. Here's a little teaser for you, which I won't give you the answer on this right now, but I actually had this as I got towards the end of my time with Disney. As a matter of fact, when I was at Disney, if you happen to go into the Working Creatives community, which is in the link below, I actually unpack that in a article that's in there called Breaking Free from the Corporate Matrix, My Journey from Disney to Independent Creative Work. That's only available exclusively on Working Creatives if you do a search in there. But yeah, I had that revelation myself where I got to work on a project that while I was in it, I just kind of went, yeah, I think this is it. I think I'm done. And with that said, I was so glad that I was actually working on the project, because when I was working on the project, it made me realize, I'm going to show up and give it my best and be consistent. But I received all of the clear-cut signals that I needed to go, yep, this is it. We need to say our goodbyes. So if you want to see that article specifically, you can only find it inside the Working Creatives community if you want to join us over there. So here's the thing. It's not a bad thing if you all of a sudden are working on a project and then have a wake-up thing of just going, I've been working on the wrong project. It's okay, because if you have been showing up consistently and doing it, you're going to start finding out whether it is the right project or the wrong project. And even if it's the wrong project you've been working on, because you've been showing up consistently and using your skills on a daily basis, that's a huge win, because that's going to be applied to what your next project is that you're going to work on, you know? So don't give up hope. It's exactly what you need to do. Keep showing up. So thanks for being on this stream with me. Please join us again soon. I will have another live stream. We do these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll have a live stream next week, and then I've got a recorded one because I'm going to be out doing stuff, but I'll talk about that later. But thank you for showing up on the channel. If you like this, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so that you will get announcements when we go live. So if you want to interact on the live stream, that would be awesome too to have you here. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for being on this channel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.